5B, town board to discuss and consider taking action on the town planner position. Town board shall review the current letter of engagement from 2012 with Yaggy Colby and offer a letter with Foth.
Well, I'll make a motion to untable.
Second.
Victor, have you had an opportunity to review any of this?
No. This is the first I have seen this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are untabled.
When we last addressed this issue, Brian and John, you brought two issues to light that you had with the standard agreement from Foth. There's a representative here from Foth, Jamie Robarchek, provided me this on Tuesday. I was out of town this week and just came back in late yesterday. The first section that was had disagreement with was section 1.2.11, and they've agreed to omit that section in totality. The second section that we expressed concern on was the 3-1-3, which talked about ending or terminating the contract. Brian, I believe this was yours that you talked about. It only was for cause and not for convenience. They've provided modified language to insert that we would retain the right to terminate based on convenience.
Hector, have you reviewed the original contract?
No, no one has instructed me to do so. I have been advised that our firm should not be doing work without direction from you or pursuant to the recent motion passed by the board.
So once again, we're going to look at a contract that our council hasn't reviewed. We're going to look at engaging one of the most important positions in the town. And we are going to change horses in the middle of the stream for no particular good reason.
Well, I'll address that. My particular good reason is that the clerk treasurer of the town of Waukesha has said to me directly that she would like to work with Foth. I'm going to respect her representation to me and pay attention to the errors that Brian has pointed out. And we beat this horse last time. I don't think there's a need to continue to do it. My motion would be to move to hire Foth for a period between 30 days, maybe give a 30-day notice, so I would make a motion that we engage Foth from August 1st of 2013 through December 31st of 2014. With the adjustments to their standard agreement as submitted here.
Are there any other items in that standard agreement that our council would find objectionable?
I don't know, he doesn't set the policy for the town, we do.
No, I'm talking about items like, for instance, us, the town, absorbing all of Foth's liability in case of negligence that you were willing to let us accept. Maybe our attorney should be reviewing these things first.
I believe that's section 1.2-11,
I understand.
which is omitted.
Are there other items I asked?
I have none that I'm concerned with.
Are you an attorney?
No, and I've not played one on TV either.
If I
Foth
might,
is a well-recognized firm, been around for a very long time, a professional organization, and I made a motion, and that's what I'm gonna stick with.
was there a second, or can we continue discussion? Where are we
I
at?
think there should be.
I'll second
for
the
a
discussion.
Okay. I guess I want to take a step back first. And if this is the direction that the board wants to head in, and it's the majority of the board, it's the board's prerogative, get that, but the concern that I've got is if this is going to come to pass, Yaggy Colby has to be terminated. Did your motion address that?
No, it didn't.
So we have two planners?
No, their contract is very clear. They need to have a notice provided to them within 30 days if we engage another planner. I think it would be prudent for the chair to provide such a notice as the contract calls for and send them something in writing that says, here's the contract, your notice is provided.
Well, I'm gonna take issue with that. I'm gonna back up a half a step, and Hector, I'm gonna need you, I guess, in on the conversation. We got a copy, we can take a look at it now, but basically, the letter of engagement with Yaggy Colby has provisions for termination, for cause, and for convenience, correct? And I guess the first place that I would start, and I'll ask that of you, Joe, is your position that we are terminating Yaggy Colby for cause or convenience?
My motion, and I will ask for my second to accept an amendment to it. My motion would be to engage both for the period 8/1 of 2013 through December 31st, 2014, and to authorize the chairman to provide the applicable notice as laid out in the contract to Yaggy Colby, terminating their services to the town. That's my motion, and I'd ask if the second will approve that amendment.
I'll approve it.
Well, that's absolutely unresponsive to my question. I guess I'll ask it of Hector then. Have you found that provision in the agreement, Hector?
Do you have it before you so that I can find it?
Oh, I can probably find it pretty quickly.
The termination is at 2.04. Is that what you are referring to, sir?
Give me a minute. Correct.
Okay.
And my question to you is, as counsel to this town board, do we not need, if we're going to terminate Yaggy Colby, do we not need to make a determination of whether we are terminating for cause or convenience? And doesn't that termination notification to them need to address that issue?
Let me state my answer simply, yes.
Thank you.
I don't follow your advice and let them know that we're terminating them for, that the letter, the notice letter, should state that they were terminated for convenience. So I would need to get a second on my amendment.
I'll second that.
All right, then I guess I'll continue the discussion. If the motion is simply termination for convenience, then it follows it is not for cause. And I guess I would ask you to give us your reason for the desire to terminate for convenience.
You were at the last meeting, right?
Yes, I was here.
There's my reasons.
Well, I heard the reasons is because Roger messed up in so many words with the German CSM. And I heard you, which does concern me, Joe, making representations about Clerk Treasurer Salentine. I mean, you have made a lot of representations to us in the past of what people have told you that simply aren't true. That leaves me real uncomfortable.
I know, it makes you uncomfortable.
It does.
That's good. I'd like to call a vote. I'll make a motion to call a vote.
Question.
Yes.
It's an undebatable motion. You have to ask for a second.
Is there a second?
Question on the dates, that's all I
You can't discuss it right now. There's a motion on the floor to call the vote.
I'd like to see the motion in writing, please, before we go.
I guess, could you write up that Joe made a motion to call the vote? Because Mr. Fischer would like to see those words on paper.
The motion, I want to see on paper.
We cannot have discussion. There is a procedural motion on the floor. I made a motion to call the vote. The chair needs to ask for a second. Absent a second, then you can continue to have discussion, because then my motion would fail.
I guess I want to understand, your motion is whether.
Point of order. I made a valid motion to call the vote.
But I have a right to ask the chair for clarification. Is your motion as to whether or not we should vote? Is that the motion?
There is a motion on the floor to call the vote.
I'm lost.
I'll second
All in favor?
it.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I'll abstain. I have no idea what we're voting on.
No.
So the motion passes, you need to call the vote. You can reread the motion if you want to.
Please read
When
the
we
motion.
do that.
Is that the motion you'd like in writing?
Yes.
Please put that in writing.
Thank you.
Sure.
We have to give Roger 30 days, August, today's the 11th, that doesn't sit.
You'll have new petitions that'll come in the planning board in advance of the meeting. 30 days will allow Roger to serve the constituents that have planning items between now and the next planning commission meeting. So it'll be a smooth transition. Both has explained that their period where they're getting up to speed and those things, they don't charge us.
Okay, thank you for
Am I
that.
representing that?
That's correct.
Question, I guess, for clarification. This says with adjustments to agreement as submitted. Is that in reference to the email communication to you of Tuesday, July 19,
Yes.
2013 at 7:06 a.m.?
Yes.
Do you object to modifying that to clarify that so people
I
know?
would accept that amendment to my motion and need acceptance by the second.
Second.
So Aaron, do you understand that we would like to clarify the adjustments to the agreement as submitted to read that it is referencing the date on the email from Jamie Archer to myself?
Mr. Chairman, may we continue with discussion?
Yes.
I don't think you can.
Hector?
Been entertaining it.
Yes or no?
Yes, we can.
Discussion. The motion just voted on was basically to close debate and take a vote. And as a result, Supervisor Fischer's request, which is consistent with the ordinances. The motion that was made and second had now been produced in writing. So the next order of business should be to vote on the motion.
So no further discussion is allowed.
That is correct, sir.
Thank you.
Chairman Marek,
No.
Supervisor Banske,
Yes.
Supervisor Wolf,
Yes.
Supervisor Laska,
Yes.
Supervisor Fischer.
No.
Motion carried.